Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything you worked for, your savings, your job, your future, is suddenly gone. This isn't a movie scene. This was America in 1929. A nation that believed it had finally cracked the code to endless wealth was about to experience the worst economic collapse in modern history. This is the story of the Great Depression. The year is 1918. After 4 brutal years, the First World War finally comes to an end. Europe lies devastated. Cities destroyed, economies shattered. But across the Atlantic, the United States stands tall. America didn't just survive the war, it profited from it. Factories that once produced weapons now shift back to consumer goods. Millions of soldiers return home, ready to work, ready to spend. And for the first time in history, America becomes the world's economic center. What follows is a period of explosive growth and optimism, an era that would later be called the Roaring Twenties. At first, everything seems perfect. Construction projects that were paused during the war restart overnight. Factories expand. Jobs are everywhere. And something revolutionary is happening. Women are entering the workforce in record numbers. That means more households earning income, more spending, more demand for products. Companies see opportunity, and they rush in. The age of new technology. The 1920s are an era of invention. For the first time, American homes are filling with electric washing machines, vacuum cleaners, refrigerators, radios. In 1920, the first radio advertisement airs in the United States, and it works. Suddenly, companies can sell directly into people's homes. Consumerism explodes. Here's the problem. Most Americans can't afford all these new products. So banks step in. Loans become incredibly easy to get. You don't need full cash anymore. You just need credit. Buy now, pay later. And people love it. By the mid-1920s, families are living beyond their means. Debt is piling up quietly. But nobody is worried, because the economy looks unstoppable. And then comes the car. Specifically, Henry Ford's Model T. For the first time, cars aren't just for the rich. They're affordable, mass-produced, efficient. America falls in love. Cars change everything. Cities expand, people travel more, businesses grow. Life feels easier, faster, better. Confidence in the future skyrockets. With money flowing and optimism everywhere, Americans ask a new question. Why just work for money when money can work for us? Enter the stock market. At first, investing is limited to the wealthy, but soon, everyone is doing it. Factory workers, barbers, taxi drivers, even shoeshine boys. Stories spread of people getting rich overnight, and the most dangerous belief takes hold. Stocks only go up. Here's where things turn dark. People don't just invest their savings, they borrow to invest. This practice is called buying on margin. You put down a small amount of money, borrow the rest, and hope stock prices keep rising. Banks encourage it because they earn interest, they invest customer deposits themselves, and they assume nothing can go wrong. But beneath the surface, this entire system is built on debt and speculation. By the late 1920s, cracks begin to appear. Factories start producing more goods than people can afford to buy. Warehouses fill up. Sales slow down. Companies quietly reduce wages. Interest rates begin to rise. But the stock market? Still climbing. This creates a dangerous illusion. The market looks strong. The real economy is weakening. Investors ignore the warning signs. Greed wins over logic. October 24th, 1929. The New York Stock Exchange opens, and suddenly, people start selling in panic. Within hours, 12.9 million shares are dumped, a record. Prices collapse faster than ticker machines can update. No one knows what their stocks are worth anymore. Banks attempt to stabilize the market. For a moment, it seems like the worst is over. But it isn't. October 29th, 1929, Black Tuesday. The Dow Jones crashes 12% in a single day. another record. Billions of dollars vanish. Some stocks become completely worthless. People who borrow to invest are wiped out instantly. America's paper wealth evaporates, and the nightmare begins. Over the next 3 years, the Dow Jones loses 90% of its value. Thousands of companies collapse. Millions lose their jobs. Banks fail across the country. When banks collapse, people lose their savings, often receiving 10 cents for every dollar they deposited. By 1933, unemployment reaches 24.9%. Soup kitchens become common. Homelessness explodes. This isn't just an economic crisis, it's a human tragedy. The Great Depression doesn't stay in America. Due to global trade and finance, it spreads worldwide. Germany is hit especially hard. And in that economic despair, a man named Adolf Hitler rises to power. He uses anger, poverty, and humiliation as political fuel. The Depression helps pave the road to World War II. Franklin D. Roosevelt introduces the New Deal. Government spending increases, regulations are added, banks are reformed. But the truth is, the Depression doesn't truly end until World War II. War production creates jobs. Factories run at full capacity again. Ironically, one global tragedy ends another. Economists still debate the causes, but some lessons are clear. Unchecked speculation is dangerous. Excessive debt can destroy entire economies. Financial systems need safeguards. The Great Depression reshaped capitalism forever. The Great Depression wasn't just a failure of markets, it was a failure of belief. Belief that growth was endless. Belief that risk didn't matter. Belief that tomorrow would always be better. History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it rhymes. And that's why understanding the past is the key to surviving the future.